Okay, I have a Nikon D600 here, and I'm going to show you the differences in buffer clearing time when you're using the second slot allocated to JPEG and the first slot set to RAW shooting, regardless of the format in which you're shooting. So what I'm going to show you here first is I'll go into Menu. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the roll of slot 2 set to Overflow, and then image quality is RAW. So I'm just going to be shooting RAW images throughout this, regardless. So I want you to see how long it shoots for, and then how long it takes to clear the buffer. Okay, let's take a look at it. Okay, so it took about 16 shots. And when the green light goes off, the buffer will be clear. Okay, so that was, what I consider fairly short to put 16 24 megapixel images into the buffer. What I'm now going to do is I'm not going to change what I'm shooting, but I will change the second slot to JPEG. So I'm still only shooting RAW, but the second slot is allocated to JPEG. And what I have is I have 45 megabyte per second cards in both slots, so those should not really impact the buffer clear time. But let's take a look now. Okay, this time it took 15 before that, before it started looking to clear. So let's see how much longer it takes. It takes a significantly longer time with the second card slot set to JPEG, even though I'm not shooting JPEG. So that tells me that the camera itself has pre-allocated resources to that second card slot, even though it's not going to use it. So as you can see, the amount of time it takes is significant. It's an awful long time. Something I found out while shooting the other day. There we go. So yeah, it's at least 3 to 4 times as long. The interesting thing is, though, if I was to take a look at the menu and leave it this way, okay, but what I'll do is I'll remove the second card slot, or the second card. So I'm still in RAW and JPEG mode. What happens now is it does not detect the card in there, so it completely ignores writing anything to the second card. So even though I'm in this mode, it will clear as fast as it did the first time. Okay, again, about 15 shots. And they were clear. So my advice to you is, if you're not going to be using the second slot for JPEGs, make sure that you keep it in Overflow, or don't put a second card into the camera. Otherwise, if you're doing a lot of continuous shooting, you're going to be waiting an awful long time for the buffer.